How's it going, guys? Cody back again, dropping yet another video. Right, guys, we're going back to Wales now. This is a story in the Wales Online. Headline reads, attempted murderer throws bucket of his own excrement over prison guard and tells judge, I hope he can taste it every time he closes his eyes. Andrew Jones said the guy deserved all he got and took a bow after carrying out the attack. A prisoner convicted of attempted murder threw a bucket of faeces and urine over a custody officer's head before telling a court he deserved it. Andrew Jones, 45, left the prison officer soaked and stinking of shit before taking a bow in front of a crowd of inmates during the incident at HMP Parc prison, Bridgend. So HMP Parc, guys, South Wales. On Thursday, Newport Crown Court heard how Jones, who was serving a 17-year sentence at the time, carried out the attack on Officer Lee Partridge on January the 12th due to animosity caused by a drugs test. Appearing via video link from Long Lartin, so he's obviously been shipped out to a Cat A, Jones called the officer a fucking arsehole and said the guy deserved all he got. Asked if he would like to offer any mitigation for his actions, the defendant, who appeared unrepresented, said, I hope he can taste it every time he closes his eyes. Mitigating, guys, is like things like reasons why you did it, or things that like mitigating in your favour sort of thing. Gareth James, prosecuting, said Jones had been serving his sentence in Bridgend after being found guilty of the attempted murder of a French-Algerian national in Gloucester in 2015. The court heard how he had woken his victim up, put his hands over his mouth before stabbing him 11 times with a serrated knife. During Thursday's hearing, Mr. James said the prison officer was taken to hospital after Jones' actions to have his eyes washed and receive a hepatitis A injection as a precaution. He said Mr. Partridge, the prison officer, had been made aware that the defendant had some animosity towards him. He told the defendant he was going to get potted. Potted is the urine or shit and urine together, or shit, and you just pot it. You throw it over them, you put it in a bowl and you put it over their head. Yeah, just potting. As a result of the information, a search of the prisoner found a bucket of human faeces he'd already prepared, so he'd been stewing that bad boy up. The defendant then waited a further 3 months, but still persisted in carrying out the attack. In a personal impact statement read in court, the prison officer said he felt violated by the incident. Mr. Partridge said, I'm so glad I had a cold and a blocked nose, so I couldn't smell it or think I would have been sick. I had worried about what I could have caught. I should not be suffering by simple carrying out my job as a prison officer. Recorder Caroline Rees QC described the incident as nasty, assaulted design to humiliate the officer. She said you planned and put good your plan to store up faeces and urine in a bucket just to throw it over his head. He was covered in faeces, his eyes, his hair and even his clothes. You took a bow to those that were waiting and watching you. He was humiliated, he felt violated. There was physical harm as well, his eyes were stinging. He had to go to hospital for tests and he was worried about catching a disease. You have absolutely no remorse for your actions this day. Jones was given a 20-month sentence for entering an early guilty plea to administering a poisonous or noxious thing with intent to injure. He will serve half of his sentence consecutively after an existing sentence before carrying out the second half on licence. So, sorry guys, I fucked up a little bit there towards the end. Right, so yeah, potting, guys, it goes on within prison. What you've got to think of, guys, right, if this prisoner, right, so the prison officer, it got back to the prison officers that he was storing up, so some prisoners obviously grasped, right, but then he waited 3 months and he'd still been stocking it up and stocking it up. So what you've got to ask yourself is, if this prison, right, why has he tried to target this prison officer on 2 occasions? Because the prison officer's obviously done him wrong. Could have given him a kick-in or something like that. Now, like I say, prisoners have got long memories, right? So he just thought, right, so he stored it up. Someone else could have paid him to target this officer, but it sounds personally like the prisoner has got a personal vendetta against the prison officer. And like I say, prison officers, do they lash out for no reason? Of course they do. But a lot of prisoners act because for every action there is a reaction, and that's where the prisoner pops the officer or hits him or whatever the case may be. He's obviously targeted this officer. Other prisoners will have been made aware of the plan and say, right, as soon as we're on social, watch this, and everyone would have been watching what's going on. He's gone into his cell, he's got his bucket of faeces or his bowl or whatever, and he's just dumped it on him. It would have then been twisted up. He's been shipped out. He's been sent to a Cat A prison rather than a Cat B prison, because Parc is a Cat B in South Wales, and he's been shipped to Long Lartin, which is a Cat A. So yeah, it goes on, guys. Like I say, it's not the best of punishments, is it? But you've got to, for those that think, oh well, the prison officer is just an innocent person. No. Like I said, he's waited and he's bided his time and he's bided his time to get this officer. You've got to think of the reasons why. That's why. He's obviously, for every action, there's a reaction. That was a reaction, guys, and he's waited. It sounded like he waited a few months to get the officer, and he got him. Like I said, he's been given an extra, what did he get? A couple of months? 20-month sentence. So, do you know what I mean? When you're serving 17 years in prison, you know what I mean, before he's eligible for parole, it's a minor, really. On that note, guys, going to leave it here. Link in the description below, like I always do. Like, comment, subscribe. Cody out.